Hi, this is mxux. I was going to do a long presentation on all the various UBI programs that are sprouting up all over the country that are well intentioned and they're working and they're in Chicago and they're all over. I'm going to make a proposal here with this presentation on a new national federal system of uh, uh, aid to the poor. Okay, you can call it UBI, you can call it anything you want. Uh, Let me just start this program. How blockchain and AI can end poverty, and I call it poverty, not homelessness. Okay, we have the technology within our grasp that can replace the flawed welfare as we know it reforms of Bill Clinton. This has been a failure. See my other videos. What has this resulted in? The end of welfare as we know it. The creation of favelas. You know what those are? Those are the slums outside of Brazil and Rio de Janeiro where the poor people have to live. Okay, and they're shanty towns, and God bless them, and they're strong people. But we have that in the United States as a result of the end of welfare as we know it. Bill Clinton, big mistake. He admits it today. Hillary Clinton admits it. You know, it worked fine as long as the economy was booming, but as soon as there's problems, everybody ends up on the street. That's what we have now. I say we should replace the patchwork of these local UBI programs and get the cash because homelessness is poverty. Let's get cash into the hands of poor people without financial friction. And I want to explain this. This is like a elevator pitch slide deck. And I'm going to explain what I'm talking about, getting this cash into the poor, into the hands of the poor without financial friction. And I'm going to do it quickly. Okay. This is a really primitive illustration here of what's going on. Financial friction causes less money to reach the poor. So let's say we have a federal grant of $10. Okay? Now that has to grind through a whole administration and a whole subculture in the federal government, and there's all kind of people managing this and managing the software to do this, and they're managing the accounting to do this, and you name it. And then there's probably some sub uh, manager of this who reports to a manager of that who reports to a manager of that, all to get this $10 out. Now that's even before the $10 go out. Imagine the administration costs at the federal level. Okay, we go down to distribute the money. Now we have administrative costs that start at the federal level and go down to the local level. And these are the local town or the local city, their administration, their bursar, their accounting people, their outreach people, their welfare assistance people, all the people they got out going to meet people on the street. And these are all good people. And this includes nonprofits and NGOs, but they're all eating up. They're eating up this uh, grant. And this grant, it's $10. The federal government probably ate up. It was probably $30 to begin with. The federal government administration probably ate $20 of it up. Now you get down to the local level, nonprofits, NGOs, so on, as I just mentioned, there's another level of administrative cost. And that removes $9 of the $10 grant. What eventually goes out to the people on the street? $1. Okay? Now, these people at the federal level, these people at the local level, they're all doing good work and they're doing God's work and they're trying to help people. But this is friction. This is financial friction. This is what financial friction's all about. These people, this money changing hands, accounting for it, debit, credit, certification, record keeping, blah, 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 distribution. By the time it gets down here, to the poor people that need it, they get $1. Whose fault is it? Nobody. It's the bureaucracy. AI and blockchain eliminate financial friction. So if you got what blockchain is, and I'm just going to explain this briefly. Blockchain is a ledger. Okay, it's like credit, debit, whatever your ledger is. It's encoded, it's encrypted. It's like a document that's encrypted, and it's in a blockchain, so it's linked to documents in front of it and behind it, and it's so encrypted that no computer can hack into it. That's what a blockchain is. If we distribute these federal grants via blockchain, we aren't going to need administrators. Let's say we use AI. Let's say we draft Palintir into this process, and this is what they do with their foundry, and we can set up an entire automated system to manage this entire process. We can almost eliminate all the human interface on this. So we've got the blockchain eliminating all this bookkeeping, all this financial friction, this administration. We've got AI administering this, okay? And AI can administer it because blockchain keeps a total record of everything that's going on. This can be done with the minimum of fraud, waste, and corruption, and financial friction. And I have this very simplified here. Federal grant, $10. Blockchain AI administration, $1. Friction. Benefits delivered to the homeless, to the poor, $9. Okay? We can do this right now. We can do that. We can have this program up, and we have the technology. The cost of delivering 1/10 to a poor homeless person in San Francisco with blockchain and AI. It's $0 for the tent, but under the new system, the poor person uses UBI app, an app on a phone, okay, which Square is going to develop to rent a hotel room via blockchain. His blockchain income. AI controls the process. It's $50 for a low-cost hotel room in San Francisco. That's less than 1% of the present system. And I think I have a slide on this. If I don't, the present system, now listen to this. This is a correct figure. The present system costs $70,000 to get 1/10 into the hands of a homeless person in San Francisco. $70,000. We can do this and get them in a hotel room for $50. It's less than 1% of that cost. All that financial freedom is there by reducing that friction. This is a great thing. We can do this. So think about that. Less than 1% of the present cost. We can get this person housing, not in a tent, in a hotel room. Jack Dorsey, I have an idea for you. Now, this is Jack Dorsey, and I like Jack Dorsey, and he's a humanitarian. He's got a soul. He's a stand-up guy. This is from June 11, 2020, and this was before the COVID, and he's given a lot of money to COVID. But Twitter CEO plans to give away $1 billion to show charity how to do it. He's the 410th wealthiest person. And it says whether it is possible to quickly give away more than $1 billion of his money and to do it effectively. Now, this may be slightly out of date. I do believe he's given quite a bit of money to COVID research. But let's just use this as a marker. Jack, you're there. You got the app. You are in the blockchain. You can set this up. You can do this. You can really make a difference in people's lives. And Jack, I just want to tell you, there's people out on the street that shouldn't be there. There's people getting released early from psychiatric treatment that shouldn't be there. There's elderly women way past retirement age that are vulnerable, that are on the street. There are people in wheelchairs that are pushed out of hospitals, that have injuries, that are elderly people, that are completely vulnerable. This is a system that we can use to get the money into their hands. Anyway, I just wanted to put this out around Christmas. I want to send this out to Jack Dorsey and the CEO of Palintir. Palintir can set up using their foundry the back end to all this. Dorsey can set up the app and the blockchain. I think this would be a beautiful thing. Who knows? Even a cryptocurrency based on this, on funding this, would be great. So that is my Christmas wish. I'm sending this out to you. New federal nationwide war on poverty in the United States. Jack Dorsey is our man to spearhead this. Jack, let's get it done. I think we can do it. Okay, Jack's beat us to it, of course. Let's send him encouragement. He's working on the pandemic. He's taken 28% of his wealth. UBI, 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 UBI. He's going to shift to girls' health and education and UBI. Let's tweet encouragement to him. And the most important contact is the White House coming next. So this is the big one. This is the contact form for the White House. You can do this. It'll take you 3 minutes. If you've got Google, it will automatically fill in these fields. The only thing you want to check here is you want to make sure that you uncheck this so you don't get the junk mail from the White House. Send Joe Biden and Kamala Harris especially an email. Tell them to work with Jack Dorsey. Let's get this done. I think we can actually do this, and it'll save the country money, and it'll get money into people's hands that need it most. So I'm going to flash the URL over this as a text. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching the video. And please take 5 minutes after Christmas dinner, contact the White House. Tell them, work with Jack Dorsey. Get this blockchain-based UBI program off the ground. Let's end homelessness in America. All right. Thank you.